Welcome to SportsWire Summer Review. I'm Will Catterley. Well, this week I bring the show to you from Deep Run High School, where the Wildcats could easily be called the School of Champions after winning their second straight Wells Fargo Cup. The Wells Fargo Cup coveted award is given to the school with the best performance in championship games. Well, for the Wildcats, that came frequently as they won 3 state titles. The latest was in girls tennis, where Brooke Knatzer and Audrey Butterworth, seen here, helped seal the deal, beating TJ of Alexandria. Now go way back to the fall, and Deep Run was stellar on the links, winning their second straight state championship in golf, and also in the fall, boys volleyball. After feeling they had the team to win it all the previous year, well, they had another shot. This time at the Siegel Center, taking on Indian River.
So on to the championship match. Big Deep Run crowd at the Siegel Center. To the winner go the spoils. It's Deep Run. It's Indian River. And what a match it was for the Wildcats. Opening set, Deep Run in the near court. Hayden Beaucamp had himself a day. 3 o'clock tip in this one. Indian River comes back with the kill right there. Extremely talented to get in this position at the state championship match. But again, Mr. Beaucamp with the answer. And the setter was really the story of this one. Cade Terrell, over 50 assists in this game. He passed all over the place and made great decisions. Game point right there, set point. Michael Wright with the block. So Deep Run doing it with some defense as well. We go to the second set, more Wright. You know, he's being looked at by colleges, only a junior this year, as a terrific setter, but he's also, as you can see, a terrific finisher as an outside hitter. Indian River coming back though. They win the second set, 25-22, so we're all knotted up at 1 apiece to the crucial momentum-changing third. Starting off with Wright, again with the point. We go midpoint right here. Wildcats back in the front court again. It's Beaucamp again. He was solid on both sides. Beaucamp gets the kill. Wildcats looking good and looking to take the third set in a commanding 2-1 lead. Michael Wright, 28 kills on the evening, 25-20. They win the third set. We go to the fourth. Wildcats can finish them off, or Indian River can force a 5th and final set. But they get the kill there through the Wildcats, number 18, Matt Hodges. Later, chance for game point. And it's Beaucamp. He knocks it down for the kill. And the Wildcats, for the second time in school history, are your state champions in guys volleyball. And the Wildcats, as Principal Lenny Pritchard hands off the hardware to head coach Kevin Pond. Time to celebrate for the Deep Run Wildcats. They get it done, 3-1. Michael Wright is more.
We were focused. We had nothing. We knew nothing about them. We went into practice yesterday saying we could play the best team in the whole state. We had no idea. Our mentality was set. We came in focused. We did our job. We went into this year after last year's upsetting loss. We said this is the year, but we ended up doing it. The whole season we were focused. Switching over, it's always fun. I love doing what's best for the team. I can set, I can hit, just doing what's best for the team.
Fall was a mountain of riches for Deep Run. Not only did they have championships in golf and boys volleyball, their field hockey team was quite legit as well. But let me ask you this. Have you ever watched a team have to win the game more than one time, win it once, and then win it again? Well, that's the exact scenario on the Lady Wildcats' road to glory in field hockey. State quarterfinals, Deep Run at home on a rainy night versus Hickory.
1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
Welcome back to SportsWire. To field hockey we go. It's Deep Run, it's Hickory. It is the state quarterfinal in the pouring rain. And in a cold one on this, Wildcats with the pressure early, firing it inside, and keeper was really good in this one. They get out of trouble. Hickory trying to come back themselves off the corner. She shoots, she scores! Goal! And the Hickory Hawks take a 1-0 lead over the home-standing Deep Run Wildcats, who brought a heck of a crowd with them. It was 1-0 at the half. Let's go second half. Deep Run, not done. Trying to tie it up from the top of the circle. Oh, it just goes wide. What a chance for Natalie Balunas. And then Wildcats still trying to get into it. Number 15, Cameron McAleese. Gonna keep working, and she finds it back in the net. She shoots, she scores! Wildcats get the equalizer. They tie things up at 1 apiece. We're not finished yet. It is going to be a heck of an ending, I promise you that. Hickory would have their chances, and the goalie would come up strong. Becca Cramen with the save right there. And then later, in overtime, she shoots, she scores! Tied at 1, and it's over! Golden goal! Natalie Balunas with the goal, and they're moving on! As the fans jump out on the field, the coach in tears of joy. That's Coach Rachel Hazlett. She's excited for her team. And tears of joy from the players themselves. But, oh my goodness, guess what? Guess what? Yeah. The ref said it doesn't count. They said it went off the Deep Run shooter's foot. Therefore, the goal is disallowed. It took 5 minutes for that to happen. Guess what? Couple minutes later, it doesn't matter. Natalie Balunas blows it up. She shoots. She scores. Deep Run has to beat Hickory not once, but twice. But they do it. 2-1 and move on.
I just dribbled the ball and hope for the best, and it works out, and I couldn't have done it without my teammates. Now or never, we can't stop now. It's day by day. We take every game looking for last.
Well, we spring forward to spring sports when we return. Deep Run boys soccer was an absolute treat to watch on the pitch, and they delivered big time in some key matches. That means pretty awesome highlights. That's straight ahead.
Don't always have time to watch SportsWire on your TV? No problem. Episodes are available anytime on the web at watchsportswire.com, and it works just as well on your phone. Watch SportsWire anytime, anywhere at watchsportswire.com.
Now for another 2-minute history report.
We all know about the blockbuster, World War II, the famous attacks, the military heroes. But what do you know about the prequel, the First World War? At the time, they didn't call it World War I. No one ever imagined there'd be another. It was known as the Great War, or the War to End All Wars. In the early 20th century, Europe had a bit of a different look. There were the Fab Four empires, ruled by monarchs who maintained a delicate balance of power. Then, in the summer of 1914, a group of assassins attempted to blow up Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand while he was touring Bosnia. The attempt failed, but later in the day, an assassin's bullet prevailed. In retaliation, the Austro-Hungarian Empire declared war on Serbia. Russia immediately came to Serbia's support, which motivated Germany to declare war on Russia. Before long, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Great Britain were involved. Jolly good. Everyone polarized into two groups, the Allied powers and the Central powers. New technologies dominated this world conflict. Tanks, machine guns, and airplanes changed the way armies battled. Trenches and tunnels became the new strategy, although that led to soggy problems. The British and German navies dominated the seas. Then in May of 1915, Germany sank the Lusitania, killing 128 Americans. President Woodrow Wilson demanded Germany change their tactics. I demand it. Germany appeared to comply, but later offered to finance Mexico in a war against the U.S., so the United States joined the war. Oops. A year later, on August 8th, the Allied forces began the 100 Days Offensive. This series of assaults forced the German forces back and eventually led to the war's conclusion. On the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, a ceasefire went into effect. Then came the Treaty of Versailles and the formation of the League of Nations. This war changed the landscape of Europe. Monarchs were out, the four great empires were gone, and new countries emerged. So here it is in a nutshell. Europe used to be led by the Big Four, until a bullet made Franz no more. Conflicts arose, triggering numerous hawks. Success meant machine guns, tanks, and dry socks. The ceasefire became a celebrated day, although the next war was just a few years away.
That was World War I in 2 minutes.
Welcome back to SportsWire Summer Review here at Deep Run. Well, the Wildcats boys soccer team had a perfect, undefeated regular season before falling to Mills Godwin in the regional final. Still, they made it to state. So did Mills Godwin, setting up an epic rematch.
In one of the most epic games I've ever covered, and probably the most amazing matchup between Godwin and Deep Run I'll ever cover. First half highlights. No score, almost. 1-0. Godwin, a chance. Is he offside? We don't hear a whistle. Ondua, he shoots, he scores! 1-0 Godwin, they strike first, but wait. Guess the flag was up? It does not count. So, the Wildcats try to take advantage. The throw-in, check it out. That foot came out a little too far for the officials' liking. They call the foul in the box. It would lead to this. Number 5 on the PK, Matt Schreiner. Goal, Wildcats. They would have a 1-0 lead in the first half. After that boot, Deep Run takes advantage. Up 1-0 under 10 minutes to go in the first half. Let's go to the second half. Excuse me, let me get you out of my way there. He sends it in. Oh, number 17 is going to rue the day. He didn't clear that ball, start ruining. Because number 11 puts the biscuit in the basket. Josh Kirkland. A whale of an afternoon for Kirkland. You'll hear more from him. It's 2-0 Deep Run with less than 15 minutes to go in the second half. This game is over, right? Wrong, and you don't know Godwin Deep Run soccer. He shoots, he scores! What a great entry. And Godwin strikes right back and getting right back into it. Number 12, Carter Morris. Just minutes remaining. Check out the passes. 5 terrific passes leads to Chris Ondua for the equalizer. We're tied at 2, friends. Unbelievable. Down 2-0 and then tying it up at 2. Let's go to overtime. In overtime, you have 2 guaranteed overtimes. It's not golden goal, so he shoots, he scores! Deep Run, the first one to answer, however, as it's Kirkland, his second of the afternoon. Deep Run up 3-2, though usually when a team scores in overtime, it's all but over because you just don't have enough time left. Like this, Jin Kim bended it, but off the woodwork. Only about 3 to 5 seconds remaining. Kim gets fouled again. Last chance, literally, for Godwin. Kim! Goal! Jin Kim saves the season for the moment for Mills Godwin. Unbelievable. We're tied at 3. Now we're in golden goal overtime. First team to score wins. Deep Run does it. Oh my. Ismail Tofik puts it in the back of the net. And the Wildcats go to celebrate with their fans and their faithful as they win an unbelievable match. Final score, Deep Run 4, Godwin 3.
The thrilling win turned into, well, a thrilling defeat for Deep Run soccer as they fell to Albemarle in the state finals in PKs. It was still an amazing year for Deep Run boys soccer. Well, in sports, there really isn't anything quite like the comeback. Deep Run was way behind Douglas Freeman on the gridiron, but at the half, they showed their mettle and gave us a game worth reliving.
Buckle your seatbelts at home and get ready for a wild ride. These highlights will provide plenty of action. Deep Run and Freeman. Deep Run got it started with special teams. Early first quarter, Freeman forced a punt. Deep Run with the block, and they've got the ball in Freeman territory. Would lead to this. The ground game getting going at least on the first drive for Deep Run. Number 22, Evan back in black with the carry, would set up this 1-yard touchdown plunge. Aiden Wheeler. And so far so good for the home side. They would have a 7-0 lead. But after that, it was all Freeman. Crazy busted play here. Fumble. Somehow it's scooped to Corey Cooper. And Cooper takes it all the way to the house. Touchdown Rebels. And Freeman is back in it, tying up at 7 apiece in the first quarter. We go second quarter now. Rebels taken over. A big part of it was Jack Pollard's arm. He dials long distance, fires, finds his receiver. It's Michael Horsford with the catch. And that would lead to this. Corey Cooper hardly touched his second touchdown of the night. Cooper and Freeman have a 14-7 lead. Second quarter, all Rebels. Already up 14-7, they get the ball back again. Pollard goes back to work again. Fires, finds his receiver once again, Michael Horsford. And Horsford's got some room. Finally knocked out of bounds deep in deep run territory, but Freeman would capitalize. Roll out. Pollard fires, finds his man. Touchdown, Rebels. It's a rout almost. Tyreek Mines finds Pater. Rebels up 21-7, still in the second quarter. Just under 20 seconds to go. Pollard going to use his legs this time. Pollard, 11 of 20 passing for 138 yards in the first half alone, all the way down to the 1-yard line. And this guy, Corey Cooper, he had 33 carries for 155 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns, including this one. That's all almost in the first half. Deep Run only had 38 yards of offense. It's 28-7 at the half. This game is over, or is it? Ensuing drive, third quarter. Stonewall. They make a change. It's Aiden Wheeler somehow getting through. Busts through the defense, and I don't know how, but he finds Pater, touchdown, deep run. So all of a sudden, Wildcats getting back in the game. Now, when you're going to come back, you need some elements like turnovers. You got to force them. They get one right there on the interception. And all of a sudden, Evan Herkins in deep run feels like momentum has shifted. Fourth quarter now. They make a change at quarterback because Wheeler was not effective. And that man was Jack Baruch. And I got hit by a coach. The referee hit the coach. It's a 5-yard penalty, but he delivers long distance on the slant pattern. Be a 5-yard penalty after the play, so the play would stand, and then he fires, finds Gabe for the touchdown. And all of a sudden, deep run. Once down 28-7 in the fourth quarter. With about 8 minutes to go, they've got it now down to 28-21. Fast forward, Baruch is on fire. All the way down to, well, they say the 1-yard line. Dylan Schwartzman. And Schwartzman in deep run. All of a sudden, finally, Aiden Wheeler put back in the goal line situation. Quarterback, 1-yard touchdown. It's good. So, extra point would tie it. Go for 2 would win it. Wheeler. Talked to Coach Chad Hornick in the huddle during a timeout. Hornick called a play. Wheeler said, no, it's not a good one. Hornick said, I'll listen to you. Come up with your own play. He did. Deep run takes a 29-28 lead. Are you kidding? With 41 seconds left. Last chance for Pollard and Freeman. Scramble in right. Now he's going left. He's going to just toss it up to Cooper. It's incomplete. And deep run comes all the way back in dramatic fashion and beat Freeman 29-28. And Coach Hornick gonna celebrate with his teammates in what is one heck of a postgame.
You got to take some chances. Guys, it's hard to take that chance. We could have tied it up. We were playing better than them in the second half. We could have beat them in overtime. We could have done that, but instead, let's take it from them. We took it from them. You understand me? You just took it from them. Yeah! And that's what you got.
It was crazy at halftime. We were all down on each other. Coaching staff brought us back up. Everybody, all the team captains, picked up the morale, and I don't know, it's just incredible. That's all I got to say about it.
When we were standing out here right before the end of the first half, we told our players, this isn't over. It's not time to fold in. We practiced all week for preparing those 2 last drives. That's exactly what we prepared for because we knew we were going to have to throw the ball at some point. They did a really good job of shutting down our offense with the run game, so we came back and threw the ball and executed. I'm really proud of our guys.
Speaking of team comebacks, perhaps no team had a greater turnaround than Deep Run Baseball. Barely making it into the regional tournament and with a paltry record of 10-8, all of a sudden, the tables turned. They beat top seed Godwin at Godwin and went on to take the regional title. Deep Run continued their run with a win over Morian States before falling in the semifinals. But there were so many great individual stories as well. Matthias Cannon won a state title in boys track, taking first in the 1,600 meters after winning the event in regionals. Morgan Whitaker in ladies lacrosse scored her 100th goal of her career in a match against Atlee, and now joins big sister Sydney at the University of Michigan, where the two will play lacrosse together. Lexi Long, a captain in gymnastics and also an excellent soccer player, won the Lexus Scholar Athlete of the Year award. She was valedictorian with a 4.7 GPA. By the way, that's good enough to get into MIT, and then in the end, choose Stanford. And then there's Lexi's teammate in gymnastics and co-captain, Leanna Headley. She was great in gymnastics and also terrific in the pool for deep run swimming. But it was what she did outside of athletics that really made the mark.
Senior night for deep run gymnastics and Leanna Headley.
My next senior is Leanna Headley.
Leanna is a joy to have on the team. She is one of my two captains this year. She's always bubbly, always talkative, always enthusiastic.
So I do the floor. I've basically done the same routine since freshman year. I did gymnastics all through middle school and did beam there, but when I got into high school, I just wanted to stick to just floor. I kind of get to express myself and have fun, and I like the tumbling aspect. I enjoy that. I'm also on swim team. I've been swimming for 13 years. The 50 free and the 100 fly are normally my two best events.
But when she's not flipping on the floor or making waves in the pool, Leanna is just as dedicated beneath the surface.
I'm part of the Marathon Dance Committee, which helps plan the 27-hour-long school dance that Deep Run does. The committee goes through and plans the entire dance, but also picks the charities. We get to know each organization and the people they impact and what they're doing in the community, which has been something that's really special.
And if raising over $2 million in the marathon's 12-year history isn't special enough,
in 2014, I started an organization called Our Amazing Fighters, which is dedicated to raising awareness for pediatric cancer and spreading joy to those battling through making care packages and sewing handmade blankets. Each package is really specialized to fit what the child likes and what gender they are and what age they are, and then we've hand delivered some, and then a lot of times we just ship them across the United States. I've met a lot of kids, and a lot of them have had a really special impact on my heart, and I still am friends with a bunch of them. I hang out with some of them outside of school. The only thought that runs through my head is how incredible the kids are, and they're the reason I do it.
and Leanna continues her work, even though cancer has hit close to home.
In 2016, October of my junior year, my dad was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is a type of brain cancer. So I wasn't prepared for that to happen, but because I was already so involved, I knew what was to come, and it helped me remain strong for him, and it gave me a whole new passion to want to continue to do this for all these kids, because seeing my dad go through it and then watching a 3-year-old do the same thing it's just super.
Leanna still works on these care packages weekly and continues her fight against childhood cancer. It's amazing stuff right there. Well, that's all the time we have for today's show, but if you have any questions or comments about the show, just send me an email to this address. It's sportswire@henrico.k12.va.us, and you can always follow us on Twitter. I can't wait to see ya next time on SportsWire.